as we get set for the NBA postseason to kickoff, let's get one thing straight. The Los Angeles Lakers are not contenders in the West. They are not a threat to win the conference. They are not going to make a deep finals run. They're not going to make a deep postseason run. Because Tuesday showed you all you needed to know as why the Lakers are not threats whatsoever. They have some big names, LeBron, AD, that get people excited, but truly they are not a threat in the West whatsoever. They didn't win that game on Tuesday, that playing game against the Wolves. They didn't win it. To me, Minnesota lost that game. Look at everything that had to break the Lakers' way in order for them to squeak out an overtime victory at home. They needed, coming into that game, for both Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels both to be out. Two of the best Wolves defenders not available. Rudy, obviously, as we know, for the, I guess we'll call it a punch. The punch heard around the world. And Jaden McDaniels, actually with a legitimate punch, broke his hand on the wall. So two of the best defenders for the Wolves not available on Tuesday night. Also, not to mention, you're going into that game, if you're Minnesota, with a swirling controversy surrounding you after that punch that happened on Sunday. So a lot of controversy, a lot of turmoil surrounding the Timberwolves. And again, they missed their two best defenders heading into that game. That was one break the Lakers got. Then you look in that game where, for the most part, Minnesota dominated for 3.5 quarters. But in that final stretch, in those last 11 minutes and 1 second of the game, fourth quarter and overtime combined, the Lakers desperately needed the Wolves to go ice cold, scoring just 7 points in the final 11 minutes of that game. In that stretch, they missed 14 of 16 shots on the field and had 8 turnovers. So you had the Wolves just completely melting down on offense. Lakers needing that meltdown in order to get back into the game. This was a game, by the way, for how ugly it was. Another LeBron James performance in which he scored 30 points. You had a 17-3 free throw advantage for the Lakers in the second half and dominated the offensive glass in large part with Gobert not there and having 12 offensive rebounds. So think about that. If I just tell you that right now, if you didn't watch the game whatsoever, and I told you two of the best defenders for the Wolves out of the game, the final 11 minutes of the game, the Wolves would score 7 points, miss 14 of 16 shots, 8 turnovers, have LeBron go for 30, you dominate the offensive glass, you dominate the free throw disparity in the second half, and I ask you, what is the score of that game? You're saying probably Lakers by 30, right? Routinely, no sweat, breezing into the playoffs, no problem, and you're riding in on a high note. Instead, this is a game that barely got to overtime, in large part of the Lakers' miscues down the stretch, and they won the game by 6. What inspired confidence after Tuesday night's game that had you thinking that this is now going to be a team to take down the Grizzlies, beat the Kings or the Warriors, upset the Nuggets, and make a deep Western Conference playoffs run? It's not there. And just at the end of the game even, LeBron James, uncharacteristically bad turnovers. Anthony Davis with the stupidest, most boneheaded play, fouling Mike Conley, and the only thing there you could not do was put the Wolves at the line with a chance to tie the game, and that's exactly what Anthony Davis did. The Lakers, even when they got control of the game, even when the Wolves handed them the game, still try to give it back to them by committing poor turnovers, not making a ton of shots at the end, late, and making some really boneheaded fouls. So, the Lakers are not contenders. They are not a threat at all in the Western Conference. They're going to bounce in the first round. Memphis in 5.